Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. Before I get into this, I just really want to take a quick drink. I've just finished recording the video about Eubank Jr. and I don't know how long it went on for, but I was talking a lot, so I'd imagine it's probably a 10-minute long video because I wasn't actually timing it, so I needed a drink. We get into this now. So, promoter Eddie Hearn. I'm going to read here. This is quoted from IFL TV. It says, Eddie Hearn has revealed that July the 18th is the proposed first fight date for a fight card that's going to be shown in the Matchroom headquarters back garden. Now, for those who don't know, and I'll carry on reading this now in a second, but for those who don't know, obviously, we know now that boxing is going to start back. It is always going to be behind closed doors. That just is what it is. We're stuck with it for the time being. Probably be the end of the year before we start seeing crowds get back in. You know, obviously this weekend actually we've seen the Bundesliga start back. I've never been a fan of German football, but I watched Dortmund versus Schalke because it was sport. It was in closed doors. But Eddie Hearn has said that he wanted to do it in the Matchroom headquarters back garden. He even showed a little plan, a kind of little plan where the ring is going to be, where a few people are going to be, where the media is going to be. So I would imagine that people like IFL, Boxing Social, because I remember having a chat with Ade on WhatsApp about that, and we were both kind of saying the same. We're like, how are IFL going to get in there? But obviously that he's got a media row, so obviously media will be able to get in there, I would imagine. So he's going to be doing that outdoors. Obviously, well, I would imagine weather doesn't make much of a difference because the thing over it, but it's going to be outdoors, and obviously it's behind closed doors, the Matchroom headquarters. Now, Eddie Hearn says that he has the plan to do 4 consecutive weeks, culminating with Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin in August. So you would imagine that would be what, August the 18th, August the 20th. Let's just check the dates here. So if that starts on July the 18th, so just check the dates here. So if that starts on July the 18th, which is Saturday, you would imagine come 4 weeks, you'd be talking either 22nd of August or the 15th of August, one or the other. So yeah, considering this fight was meant to happen the 2nd of May, we're now looking at the middle, towards the end of August. I'm still interested in Whyte Povetkin. You know, I'm very interested to see how Dillian Whyte reacts to fighting behind closed doors. No, I'm very interested. I don't think it'll bother Povetkin as much. You know, Povetkin, I think at one stage in his career, do you know what about Povetkin, right? It's strange because Povetkin, up until 2018, he'd fought in only Germany and Russia, all right, and mainly been based in Russia. You know, he wanted Wilder to fight in Russia. That fight was going to happen in Russia. There was when he was made mandatory for Anthony Joshua. Do you remember Rybinski? You know, there was all the talk of he's going to bring that fight to Russia. He's going to bring that fight to Russia, and I think they paid Povetkin a little bit more to have the fight in the UK as they wanted to do it at Wembley Stadium. But Povetkin, at one stage, they even outbid the Klitschko's to get it in Russia. So Povetkin at one stage was, the home bird. He was wanting to fight in Russia. He was fighting in Moscow. He was fighting in Ekaterinburg, place like that, deep in the heart of Russia and on the European side of Russia. That's where he was fighting. I think Ekaterinburg is like right on the border between Asia and Europe. So that's where Povetkin was fighting. But ever since 2018, he's been in the UK. He's been in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, he fought in Saudi Arabia. He fought Michael Hunter. So he's been on the road a lot. So I think Povetkin now, at this stage, probably wouldn't even remotely affect him if he was fighting behind closed doors, because he's been on the road for the last couple of years anyway. Okay, he's not been in Russia since he fought Christian Hammer at the back end of 2017. That's the last fight he had in Russia. So Povetkin has been on the road, so I don't think it'll affect him at all with regards, fighting in the Matchroom headquarters. With Dillian Whyte, I reckon it will. I'm not saying now I'm going to pick Povetkin. I'm going to still go with Dillian Whyte to win this fight, but I think it's made more interesting with the fact that Dillian Whyte, with his ring walk antics, with his howling at the crowd, having the fans cheering him or booing him in some cases, but having that crowd can lift the fighter. It can also, we often hear stories about these gym fighters who, when you see them in the gym, they just look amazing. When you give them a crowd, they're not the same. And it's like that in other sports, you know. For those who are long-time viewers of the channel will know that a sport I like, a sport I love next to boxing. You know, boxing's number one by a country mile, but my second favourite sport is darts. And for those who don't know how the darts league, well, it's not a league, but how the darts tour works, there's some behind closed doors and there's some with crowds. And that's always the way it's been, okay? There's a lot of players who they play behind closed doors. They're called floor tournaments, all right? They play amazing at floor tournaments. There's no crowd. Put them on the stage, on the TV, on Sky, they're nowhere near as good. You know, you look at darts players like Ian Whyte. There's a darts player called Ian Whyte, very good darts player, amazing darts player on the floor. He can never get past the quarter-final of any TV tournament. But you see him on the floor, he's beaten world number 1 6-0. Remember he beat Michael van Gerwen, who's the world number 1 6-0 a couple of years ago. No problem. On the floor, no crowd. Put him on the stage, meh. Still good, but meh. You have that in other sports as well. So it'd be interesting to see how certain fighters react to fighting behind closed doors, because it will kind of be like a gym environment. Obviously not fully gym environment, but it'd be kind of in and around the same. You know, very few people there. And again, I'm not much of a UFC fan, but I did watch that Tony Ferguson fight, watch bits of it, and I love being able to hear the punches. You know, you could really hear, and they're only using little mitts anyway, but you could hear everything that was cracking. So when Dillian, Whyte and Povetkin start exchanging leather, you are going to hear those punches. You are definitely going to hear them punches. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Eddie Hearn, as he said, he also said, I believe, I think it's at the bottom here, yeah, he also said he's actually targeting US dates for late July. So he's going to be doing the Matchroom UK and the DAZN US thing going. So we're going to get to see some maybe cards that go, you know, like some of the Sky shows where they have the UK card on in the evening. It then eventually leads on to the US show. So, you know, it's nice. We're getting some boxing news back. We're getting boxing back. We'll hopefully be getting some fights announced in the coming weeks, and you know, bring it on. You know, I've missed doing my post-fight reviews. I've missed having some, you know, real news to talk about. Not that the news we've been having hasn't been real, it has, but you know, when it's consistent. You know, I mean, you're just chucking videos. Like, look at me in the month of February. I was chucking videos out every other day because there was so much to talk about. Lead up to Wilder Fury, you know, all the other news that was going on. With this whole, you know what going on, it's just slashed it all. So then looking forward to boxing getting back June, July, hopefully. And yeah, with regards to Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte, I still think it's an interesting fight, but I am definitely going with Dillian Whyte. I think he'll beat Povetkin on points. I thought I would say she would stop Povetkin, but I'm going to go with Whyte on points. But I'm interested to see it, so let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, so before I go, I just want to say thank you for dropping by the channel. I really do appreciate it. I mean, all the support, all the things that have happened on this channel over the last year have been incredible. If you're new to the channel, as you'll see on screen there's a couple of like older videos that I have. Some of them aren't really relevant now, to be fair, but some of them are, like my Fighters with a Problem series, stuff like that. If you like any of this, please subscribe. Like the video you just watched, share it, do it, all you gotta do. Let's try and keep this channel going, because I love doing this and I love interacting with the fans, and I love hopefully the fans love watching my videos. So thank you for dropping by. I've been G-Man. I will talk to you.